Every disease starts from the soul. First, autoimmune diseases are creations of the body itself trying to fight its own misery. Our body is a divine gift. It's a perfect creation full of wisdom and love. It is a miniature of the whole universe. The ancient Greek doctor Hippocrates said that every disease begins first in the soul and then ends up in the body. And that's why a lot of people, after they go to Holy Confession, do have a very much increased bodily health. I know when I was sick, the doctors didn't know what I had wrong with me. I thought I was going to die. After my first confession, I felt like every cell in my body, that my whole DNA changed. I really, with the eyes of my soul, I believed I saw a white being next to the priest who was reciting the exorcism prayer at the end of the confession. This white being put his hand over my head and pulled out something, and I felt that from that pulling, every single cell in my body, from my feet to my hair, was changing, and I became healed. Yes, so we have healing experiences. I'm one that has had that from Holy Confession, one of the sacraments that Jesus Christ left us with. Now, the doctors, the researchers say here, our cells operate with intelligence and spirituality, where everything is recorded, everything we are, everything we have, all the uniqueness of our being resides there. When we realize this, we can make huge changes, initially in our health, but also in the whole reality we live in. The human body needs physical exercise, proper nutrition for everyone, detoxification, therapeutic contact with nature, and above all, love. Everything is offered to us in abundance when we choose natural care and are conscious in what we eat, and the earth provides all the good to heal the body. Now here, of course, we have to keep in mind that we have to somehow try and protect ourselves from toxic relations, whether it be parents against children, or wives with husbands, or with employers with their employees, or whatever, professors with their students, or abbots with their monks and whatever. Now, the soul organizes the body. It's tragic today that we do not even know the enormous power of our mental state and the thoughts that come from it, and how exactly all this works and affects our body. Only in recent years has modern medicine begun to study and accept the effect of thoughts on our health. It's now been proven that depending on the type of our thoughts, our brain makes similar synapses, sending the appropriate message commands to our cells. In other words, we are what we think. Now, for example, in a person who is permanently unhappy or depressed, the body is in constant defense, thus attacking its own cells. So-called autoimmune diseases are creations of the body itself trying to fight the misery of itself. Not knowing until now why this is happening, they had attributed to the hereditary factors or stress. Of course, what is inherited from the sick parent is his mental problem that he can very easily deposit in his child. There we go. That's one example of it. You see this? Children are always the easy target for troubled parents because they are always open to them and have complete trust in them, as a result of which he unloads all his psychological problems, insecurities, and unhappiness on them, resulting in children developing exactly the same pattern, and we call this hereditary. The other big culprit, stress, affects us negatively by causing excessive cortisol secretion in the brain, resulting in a permanent feeling of insecurity and the belief that nothing will go well. And of course, it does not go as long as we ourselves put into immediate effect the destructive human creation, which we call Murphy's Law. However, in order for a disease to manifest, autoimmune or not, a strong background is needed. Usually, people who develop chronic diseases carry very strong mental traumas that many times, but not always, they do not even remember. They exist within the subconscious mind, while the conscious mind has blocked this memory. Also, the cause of the disease can be a very strong emotional shock or an intensely negative emotion, and in these cases the disease appears immediately. Any negative thought drops the biomagnetic electric charge of the cell below 50 millivolts with an optional of 85 to 100. If it stays like this, some days it becomes a disease, while if it continues for a long time due to continuous negative feelings and negative thoughts and mood, it turns into a chronic disease. Today there are groups in major universities around the world studying all this part, and anyone who looks at reputable medical journals abroad finds published results that prove just that. That we create all diseases because somehow we need to get rid of all this negativity that we carry inside us, so we somatize the problem, make it a disease. The positive and very promising thing is that young doctors with open minds are slowly beginning to emerge, because it is a prerequisite to having open minds in order to escape from medical dogmatism, who now treat the patient holistically, combining classical medicine with alternative therapies. Today, many hospitals in Germany officially have sound therapists who practice the Peter Hess method with excellent results in people with strokes, multiple sclerosis, musculoskeletal problems, people with cerebral palsy, and more. Several other hospitals allow energy psychologists and therapists to come and apply their techniques to patients within the establishment. We would dare to go forward to step and say that it is up to us not to get sick anymore, as long as we see the truth in the eye without hiding behind our fingers. Whatever we create, we can also suspend it. It may sound complicated, but it's actually simple and grandiose. Those who have done it are not superhumans. They are ordinary people who have consciously decided not to feel and not to be sick anymore. The world is beginning to change, and to understand that for there to be a disease-free humanity, a holistic approach to the problem is needed. It's not a one-sided treatment. Just as the ancient Greek doctor Hippocrates said, healing is needed first of the soul and then of the body. And this is on Soul Ask. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Now, what is the Peter Hess method that we referred to before in the article? It's in very simplified terms. A sound message involves the use of special singing bowls, the Peter Hess therapy singing bowls, positioned on and or around a clothed body according to a certain system, and generally tapped. The harmonious sounds soothe the mind. So that's what happens. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.